Welcome to the podcast, Belle Bridal.
Thank you so much for having us.
Do you want to tell me who you are?
Yeah,
Or
so
tell us who you are.
full name, to be bougie, we are Belle Luxury Bridal Company. We are a team currently of 8, so there's me and Myra, and then 6 additional girls on our team. We provide luxury hair and makeup services for weddings and events.
I love that. Do you want to walk me through like your typical go-to look?
Yeah, so I would say we focus a little bit more on like an elevated version of you. So like you, but not better. You, but more
Camera ready.
Yeah, you, but camera ready. We still want it to be very like authentically you. We want it to showcase who you are and what you look like and all that good stuff, but a little bit more like done up.
Yeah, I love
like
that.
luxe.
I saw one of your posts recently where the bride, she wanted it very natural, and it still very much looked like her, but it was like just
more like done up.
Yeah,
I think I know who you're talking about. That was Holly. She was so sweet. She had wonderful skin. She had been working on it the entire year leading up to her wedding, and so she told me when we showed up on our wedding day, she's like, I want my skin to shine. I love my freckles. And I was like, heck yeah, girl, let's do it. So she actually wasn't wearing any foundation at all that day. It was all just like skincare, a little bit of concealer under her eyes, and then just like an emphasis on a lash. It was great. Yeah.
that is awesome.
Those kind of styles are some of my personal favorite. I just think that they're so pretty and timeless.
Yeah.
For sure.
I had a question going off of that. Talk to me about prep, like skincare prep, because honestly, like your skin, I think you said like your skin is only as good, or your makeup is only as good as your skin.
Yeah, we really try to prioritize like skincare. So when our brides like sign up to be Belle brides and they decide to work with us, we do our best to give them as much as many resources as possible, especially when it comes to prep. So we've got a wonderful set of girls on our team who do aesthetics, who do hair, and then we also are partnered with a like a wellness company that does a lot of really good clean skincare. You use their skincare.
Yeah, I personally use it. I use their skincare and their makeup.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It's good stuff. And it's very clean. They hold their stuff to European beauty standards. So it's incredibly clean and free of all of the junk that is in most makeups, but it's at an incredibly affordable price. And so a lot of like the organic or natural skincare are outrageously expensive. And this company has made it so that your average woman can afford and use clean skincare.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so we keep that in our kits. We use the makeup oftentimes. I know we have a couple of videos on Instagram showing like how like long the foundation lasts and things like that, but we try to keep our kits as clean as possible, and especially when it comes to skincare. If we wouldn't use it ourselves, we wouldn't recommend it to brides. And wedding planning is expensive, so being connected and partnered with a company that not only offers like European beauty standards, but it's American made, but it's also affordable, I think it's so nice to have.
Yeah.
I actually have their makeup. Like that's what all of my makeup is today. You don't have to. It's fine.
I love it. What's your go-to coffee order on a busy wedding?
I feel like I change it up all the time, but mine currently would be like a white chocolate raspberry mocha. It's really cold outside, so I'm favoring hot. But
it's crazy.
I know. I'm an ice girly all the way. But recently, I just want like my warm white chocolate raspberry mocha.
Where do you get it from?
I'm a big fan of Big B, which I know is here in Idaho. I don't know if it's anywhere else.
It's the one like just down the road.
Yeah, it's literally right down the road, and they have like shameless plug. They have like so many fun like deal days. Like after 2 p.m. it's buy one get one free coffees.
Yeah.
Yes, any day. Wednesdays, I think it's buy one get one free.
Buy one, yeah.
All day.
All day.
Yeah.
Tuesdays, if you buy a drink or if you buy a sandwich, you get your drink for $2.
Yeah. Yeah, and their coffee is really good. You like their matcha.
Yeah, I just had their matcha and it is so good.
Do they only have the one though?
I don't know.
Because
I
I've
know.
only ever seen it when I drove down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. But yeah, that's my favorite. So I like their white chocolate raspberry mocha, and during the holidays, their peppermint mocha is one of them.
Yeah. Free advertising. Okay.
What's your coffee order?
Oh yeah.
Probably ice, especially on a wedding morning, because I want to be able to just jump into chat your dough.
Yeah.
So I usually will do like an iced shaken espresso or just iced coffee. I recently had to go dairy free for the baby, so I'm finding a new coffee go-to.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay. What's the most unexpected or funny thing that's ever happened to a bride while getting ready?
To a bride?
Or to you guys? Like,
Oh,
that could be.
oh my gosh, to a bride, I don't know. We were just talking about this the other day, the amount of stories that we have just from last season alone. I have a pretty out-of-pocket story from a time that I worked for a different bridal company. Back in California, I worked in Newport Beach. Kind of a long story, so I'll try to do the short as fast as possible. It was a super, super young bride. She was getting married at like a Newport Beach yacht club. Like they were money.
Yeah.
Money. And she was really young. She was probably like 19. Yeah, really, really young. So not old enough to drink that. That's my thought. But she was really nervous, as any 19-year-old bride would be. And all of her bridesmaids were a lot older, so they kept feeding her mimosa after mimosa after mimosa. And me and the makeup artist were just kind of like, okay, slow down a little bit. Well, she got super hammered. Super on the morning of her wedding and was like crying while we were trying to do her hair and makeup. And it was just like, it was so hard. So her mom ended up pulling me aside. And again, Newport Beach, very expensive type of people. No shame, but pulled me outside and would just very like point blank was like, do you have any cocaine? And I was like, what? What? Can you run that by me one more time? What did you? Oh, no, I don't have that. And then she like started to backtrack because she could see how like shocked I was. She was like, no, I don't mean to like make any assumptions or anything. And was like scanning my tattoos and like I was like, oh, okay, you're right. Digging your hole. So anyways, I said no, and she was like, "Oh, okay." And then, like, this, there you go, yeah, sure,
It's normal.
So, anyways, she ended up pulling the makeup artist aside as well, and I watched while she asked, because this was like a very like she was a Latina makeup artist. She took no BS, like very. So I asked this mom, or I watched this mom ask her from like the hotel door, and I literally just saw the makeup artist like. And then just like put her hand up so the mom and like come back inside. And she like looked at me and she goes, did she? And I was like, yeah, people will talk about it later. It's fine. I'm like daughter's still hysterically crying because she doesn't want to be drunk on her wedding day. Like everything's just going to shambles at this point. Mom ended up fighting somebody. Yeah, I don't know who in the country club.
Wait, for the daughter.
For the daughter. Yeah. And it didn't end up being cocaine. It ended up being Adderall. Still ended up getting sniffed. I learned that day that those two work hand in hand to make people sober. Wildest lesson of my life. Craziest story that I have.
I don't know how you can top that.
You can't.
Yeah. I was just saying,
Yeah. No, I can't top as far as like outlandish like that. But we did have one day. It was an entire
Whole
day.
Mm-hmm.
It started. I was like
7 months to her? 6 months.
6 months pregnant.
Yeah.
And we had to leave really early because we had to drive up to Garden Valley for this wedding. And I threw up in the car on myself. Wearing black.
Yeah, that was really good.
Didn't have a change of shirt. So I wore this shirt all day long with like puke down the front of it. But we go to this wedding. There was one bridesmaid who was like
Jesus, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Even if you don't believe in Jesus and like Jesus, that's a crazy thing to say about Jesus.
Yeah. So that happened. And then we had Amber did a really good job at booking us weddings that were 2 and 3.5 hours apart.
Yeah, same day.
And
Same
same day. Same day. So we had to go from Garden Valley to
I think no. We were going from
yeah,
to where?
down near Twin Falls.
Yeah.
Down.
Yeah.
Away.
I
So
don't remember where it was.
yeah, but it was far.
Yeah.
So we get in the car, we're like okay, we're pretty good on time. We're gonna get there like by a hair.
Yeah.
So we're driving, we're jamming, whatever. We're like 9 miles away from the venue. And she's like, I probably should get gas. And I was like, okay, well, how much? She's like, I have 10 miles.
As we're passing.
As we're passing the last gas station
On the freeway?
on the freeway.
Oh, no.
So we pull up and she has 3 miles to empty. So she calls AAA.
Oh,
AAA never showed up.
Never.
The bride's uncle tank of gas and filled it up for us. So that
this is all the same.
All same day.
same day.
All the same day. All the same day.
Yeah.
All the same day.
I mean, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
It was so funny though. So yeah, we were talking about this the other day. We were talking about last season and how, like, you know, we're so excited to have such a bigger team and like we've implemented new things so that we don't have to, like, that doesn't happen, right? We can book more than one wedding on a day and not have to drive 4 hours out of our way after already doing a wedding. Anyway, we're talking about all these stories and like funny things that have happened. And she's like, oh my gosh, do you remember when this happened? I was like, yeah, haha. Oh my gosh, do you remember when this happened? Yeah, haha. And then as we like sat in the car, I was like, you realize that was all the same day? It was all on the same. Not the Coke story. That was from like 3 years back.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
I know. Yeah. So it's a
We-
party.
oh,
Yeah.
what about when we were going to Nampa and the truck behind you that was eating a burger?
Oh my gosh. We were on our way to a wedding venue. That was the Deer Flat. That was Deer Flat. We were on our way to Deer Flat, and I didn't realize that the right lane
turned
into a turn only lane. So I like go to merge over. There's plenty of space.
Yeah.
Used my blinker.
Used my blinker. Had my blinker on for a while. I did not cut anybody off.
Yeah.
Merged over, like sped up, merged over, whatever. And the truck behind me, it's like this old, like square body, maybe like 1970. Old
Yeah.
truck. Wah, lays on their horn. Wah, 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 wah. Held it for 3 straight minutes.
And then he's like eating a burger and flipping it off.
Out the window.
With the same hand.
With the same.
And he had his hand on that horn until we turned.
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, and I know it was 3 straight minutes because it was an entire song stand.
Yeah.
That we were listening to a song in the car. It was the entire, we had 5 minutes till Deer Flat, and once you make that turn, it's only 2 minutes.
How embarrassing.
3 straight minutes on that horn. Like, you could tell he was yelling things.
Oh,
He had his hand eating this burger, macking on this thing, and flipping us off out the window.
Also, it's like
All at the
8
same
in the
time.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Sunday.
It was a Sunday.
So where is he
probably
going?
hungover.
Oh, probably.
Freaking.
So like, you can't be
This guy had to at least be like 50 or 60 years old.
Yeah.
He wasn't like a frat boy.
No.
He was older.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Why? On the Lord's Day.
On the Lord's Day.
Can you believe
A cheeseburger and a middle finger all in the same.
And
I was like, check-
expletives.
yeah. I was like, check your river just to make sure he's not following us.
Yeah.
Could you?
And then I was nervous because I was like, I don't know if I should turn here. And she was like, well, I would just to get rid of him. What if he follows us to this bride's wedding? My head immediately went into like panic mode because I was like, what if he follows us to this bride's wedding? And then we cause a scene on her wedding day. And then it's the our fault. Could you imagine?
That would be the craziest story.
Yeah. Would have topped everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I don't know about the Coke.
I don't know. The Coke story is pretty crazy.
It's pretty out there.
I did see her pictures though. She was beautiful and hella sober.
Oh.
I don't know if you said that. She was super sober.
Well, good for her.
Yeah. I hope their marriage is doing well.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I always like. So I've always wondered this. Have you ever like done a bride's makeup and you're like, yes, they're gonna make it. Well,
Yes.
yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Sorry.
Or the other way
The
around.
other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not here in Idaho.
Mm.
I haven't had that experience. Have you?
Where you been?
We've had a couple experiences where we're like, that man has a lot of patience.
Oh.
Yeah, we've had those kind of brides. The only time I think I ever really had like the experience of like, I don't think they're gonna make it, is again in Newport.
Oh.
Wild. I had a bride, and it was. Have you ever seen the movie Just Go With It? Adam Sandler.
I think so. What is it?
Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Okay. So in the beginning of the movie where the bride's like talking about how she's only marrying him for his money and they're making fun of his nose and stuff, I was in a wedding room or in a getting ready room with a bride like that. And it was really sad. It actually really broke my heart. He had delivered like 24 roses to her door. No, I'm sorry, not 24 roses. They were getting married on the 17th and it was 17 roses. Like he wrote her a poem and she was like sitting in the room like trashing on him and saying, but he's like a doctor, so like, you know. And I was like so sad. It was so sad. Oh. That was one of the situations where like I never wish this on anybody, but like for his sake, I'm like, I really hope this doesn't work out.
Yeah.
I really hope it doesn't because he deserves more than this.
Yeah.
It was really sad. So,
well, let's.
Anyways.
So, okay. If you could do any celebrity for their wedding, who would it be and why?
Only because I was obsessed with her wedding.
Okay.
Probably Millie Bobby Brown.
Really?
Yeah. Her wedding was gorgeous. And I would have
killed it. I would have killed it
to be an artist at her wedding. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, it was just so like curated and perfect and beautiful. Yeah.
That's why I love when they have a wedding planner.
Yes.
That's just like
yes. Or a wedding designer.
Yeah.
I've noticed. I just found out like 3 weeks ago that was a thing.
I didn't.
You have wedding designers and then you have wedding planners.
What's the difference?
So wedding designers, they like curate your wedding. They curate the color scheme. They do like the from venue to everything. They like really like create this Pinterest worthy thing, and then wedding planners move forward with it and they figure out how to plan it, and they are the ones that put the vendors to the you know, to the vibe. So I would probably be Millie Bobby Brown. I'm trying to think if there's another one. Oh, Margot Robbie.
Oh.
I know she's married and pregnant, and we don't know what her wedding looked like when she did have it. But girl, she's so pretty.
Yeah.
I would love to do her makeup for anything, really, but for a wedding specifically,
yeah.
Right.
Probably Jennifer Lawrence, just because she's like the one celebrity that I have like a girl crush on.
That's fair.
I think she's beautiful.
Yeah.
She's funny.
Yeah.
And she's spicy. And so I feel like I like vibe with her.
Yeah.
Because of that.
She'd be so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Her or Carrie Underwood, just because she's
stunning,
gorgeous, and like the nicest human.
Yeah.
Ever. And like how we're picking people who are already married.
Yeah.
If I could go back in time.
Married?
Yeah, she's pregnant. Mm-hmm. She might already have her baby. I think she was pregnant like last year.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't keep up with celebrities. I have my favorites, and
yeah. I know. I see like glimpses of like weddings and stuff, and I'm just like, oh, that would be like, I don't know. I'm like, that would be so nice to photograph,
right? Yeah. I always look at I look at these weddings, and I'm like, why was mine invited?
Yeah.
What the heck?
Oh, funny. Okay. I know that you said that you love hair and makeup and you couldn't imagine yourself doing anything else. What inspires you to do it, or what inspired you to start?
So when I was growing up, my like BFF in the whole entire world was my cousin. And she was like a cheerleader. She was beauty queen. She was like all the things. And I wanted to be she was 7 years old. She is 7 years older than me. And I wanted to be just like her. So I started doing my makeup from really young. She taught me how to put my mascara on and curl my hair and stuff. So growing up, like she was a big inspiration. And then when I was in like a junior in high school, I was personal trainer, and I had one girl who was on like a high school soccer team that I trained. Besides the point, she had prom and she didn't know how to do hair and makeup, and because I just did it on myself all the time, I was overly confident.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I'll do it for you. Like, yeah, just come over. You're the same age, whatever. And she was like the first person that like, well, I mean, one, she was the first person outside of myself that I did hair and makeup on. And two, when she looked at herself in the mirror, she like got teary-eyed and she was like, I don't think I've ever like felt or looked this pretty ever. And that just did something
Yeah.
that I couldn't begin to explain. Like, I was a personal trainer at that point for 2 years already. And even when people hit their goals and would thank me and would be like, this is amazing, I never felt that like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
So that, and then I ended up dropping out of college. Epic. I ended up dropping out of college very soon thereafter, and I just felt like really lost, and I was trying to chase that feeling of like, where do I fit into life? Like, where am I supposed to go?
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually my husband that was like, well, you really like doing this, like, why don't you go to school?
Oh,
See what happens.
we love a supportive husband.
We do. We love a supportive husband. Yeah.
I'm not just saying it's not cheesy. It's probably found. No, it's genuine. She was my inspiration for anything bridal. I did makeup before we met.
Yeah.
And I done hair.
How did you meet? Sorry.
So we met in a toxic salon.
Yeah.
And
we were managers.
Yeah, we were managers, and I could not stand her.
Me?
Because she was like from California. And, like,
Oh,
you know, glam makeup and like sequins boots, and I was like, oh my gosh. I would literally like go home and tell my husband, I can't, I have to quit this job. I can't be around her. She's horrible. And he encouraged me.
Isn't that crazy?
He's like, don't say anything. Just read about it. Just wait. Just see. And I'm so glad that he did and that I listened to him, because now she's literally my best friend, and we have this business together. Like, she's going out of town on Wednesday, and then I go out of town right after she gets back, and I'm really sad because I'm super confused.
Yeah.
But it's fine. We don't have an unhealthy attachment.
No. I'm actually really sad about that.
Yeah. So, but before, so that's how we met, and then we both were feeling the same way about this salon and about management and stuff, and didn't realize it because we weren't talking to each other until one day. So one day we had just got on the phone and we were like, we have to get out of here. Yeah, it's awful. And I was like, well, let's do it on our own. And we did, and we haven't looked back, and it's been
wild. A blessing.
Yeah. And now I actually prefer makeup over hair.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah.
That's
the
cutest, funny story.
It's really fun. I think it's really funny because I had absolutely no idea until your wedding day. It was like that. I hated you. Yes. You didn't tell me that until after your wedding. You're like, I'm so glad you were there. Like, you were the biggest blessing. But she was like really like, I was like crying. And she was like, I can't believe I didn't like you at one point. And I was like, hold on.
What?
Pause. What did you say? And she was like, I thought I told you this. I was like, no. But it's, I moved here the same month that we started working at that salon together. And for some reason, I moved to Idaho and embraced being this like LA, California girl. It was so dumb. It was so dumb. And I was being influenced by another friend that I had at the time, and that friendship didn't work out. And I just I was really taking inspiration from things that weren't authentic to who I was. And so I took that and I was like, I'm in a new place. I can recreate myself, like all these things. And I did that. And it was that facade that she really did not like.
Yeah.
And so it was like, I think it was, we were at the salon at like 6:30 in the morning getting ready to do like headshots or something like that. And I showed up in these atrocious slippers that I love with my whole heart. My dad gave them to me. They're like these giant pink Nike slippers. And I showed up with them, and I had 2 or 3 hats on my head, and I had a fistful of belts in my arm. And I just came like barreling in, like totally authentically me. And she was like,
No.
No, that was the day that I was like, oh, I was right. There's something more to her.
Oh,
was showing.
Yeah.
okay.
I was so like authentically myself that she was like, something's different about you. I think I like it. So yeah, and then from there, the layer started to get peeled off.
Well, I think the first day actually showed that the Puerto Rican.
TikTok.
Yeah, feel like a Puerto Rican.
It's like a horse that loves his hair.
Yeah.
He's like swaying his head, and he's like, I feel like a Puerto Rican. So I was like doing that after she put my extensions in. I was like, so sweet. I was like, yeah, like a Puerto Rican. I was like, what? And so she showed me the video, and oh, all right. And then it was just like a week later.
Yeah,
The slippers
that
happened.
yeah, the slippers, and then it was like 2 weeks after that, maybe not even. That we got on the phone, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, what do you think about this?" And she was like, "I don't like it." It was like, "Great, me neither."
Yeah.
And we banded, and then we're like, "Okay, well, now we're gonna start this business." And then it was, "Okay, well, now we're gonna quit this job." And then it was, "Okay, well, now you're pregnant, so this has to work out."
Yes. Literally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rest
That
is
all
history.
happened in less than a month.
Well, when it's meant to be, it'll work out
Yeah.
for sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
I feel like when you put something in your heart and like it's really meant to happen, like the pieces will just fall together.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like that was amazing.
Yeah.
Because I like had the idea for it, and then I was like, I can do this, and then just things just clicked.
One after the next, after the next.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, good. Let's see. What's your favorite part of a wedding morning? Or least favorite?
So there's a trend going around on TikTok right now that I relate to wholeheartedly. This is going to be least favorite.
Okay.
But it's where like everybody's saying, unfortunately, my nervous system can't differentiate between being chased by a bear and, in our case, like showing the bride her makeup for the first time. It's terrifying.
Boy,
When you've spent an hour on the most important person of the day.
Yeah.
And you love this person because you've gotten to know them over a span of 6 months or, a year, however long they've been in contact with you. And it's the biggest day of their life. And people are talking to them and they're excited and everybody's excited. And you have the mirror in your hand and you're like, please, 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 please don't hate this. It's so like,
Yeah.
it's terrifying.
Okay. Have you ever had a bride that was like you knew she hated it, but she went with it?
Not on the wedding day.
Okay.
Trial, yeah.
Yeah.
It's happened at trial. But
that's why you have a tryout.
that's why you have trials,
Yeah.
yes. And we don't require them, but we strongly encourage them for that reason.
Yeah.
Because, 90% of the time we work with brides, they show us a picture, and when we start to pick apart the makeup, either they don't actually like it, or the common thing that they go back to is, well, I don't know, she's just pretty. Like, yes, she's gorgeous, but so are you. So how do we want to, like, she has very pink eyeshadow. Oh, no, I don't like pink eyeshadow. Oh, okay, cool. So, like, let's maybe find a different picture. You know what I mean? So, like, that's when we do trials, and most of the time that's what ends up happening is they're like, yeah, I like this, and I like this, and I like this, and then we put it on them, and they're like, I don't like this at all.
Doesn't that kind of play into color theory, though?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's hard, too, because sometimes, I've been faced with time. I've been doing makeup professionally for 7 years, and I still have times today where I'm like, ooh, you look really good in pink. Wrong. Sometimes you really don't know until you put it on somebody. And, like, yes, it's color theory, but it also, like, we could have the same exact skin tone, and because of certain shapes and maybe your hair color, but my hair color is different, or like it all can just differentiate from person to person. I don't think I've ever had on somebody's wedding day where they don't explicitly like it. I have, for my own personal like pickiness, I have taken off somebody's makeup and started over.
Really?
I did that. You did that twice last season. So, yeah. I put it on and I was like, and it's usually not the whole thing. Sometimes I'll just remove an eye and be like, I just gotta restart on that one. Sometimes it'll be the foundation. I don't like how it's laying on you, so I'm just gonna prep your skin different.
I feel like as a bride, I would have so much like extra trust in you.
If I did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did that our last wedding of 2024. I did that on her. I put like her lash on and I didn't like how it was sticking and I took it all off and I was like, I'm sorry. And she's like, it's fine. We're running early and honestly now I know it's gonna look good.
Yeah,
like,
right?
I'm sick. Like,
Yeah.
So yeah, I try my best. Like if I don't like how it's looking, I don't want to show it to you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I forgot your initial question. Oh, my favorite part. What's yours?
My least favorite?
Or favorite?
My least favorite is the one bridesmaid that I always who
or mom.
will, yeah, or mother-in-law.
Yeah. It's never the bride.
Never. It's never the bride. But it's like you're doing makeup and they're like, oh, can I just see that fresh really quick? Like, oh, I don't really do my eyebrows like that. Like, I don't know. Can I? And I literally have been like, would you like to finish it yourself? Like,
What do they say?
Yeah.
she did it.
Yeah.
She finished it.
They'll say yes. Yeah.
Then why am I?
I know. Yeah. We ask the same thing behind closed doors. I mean, now on a podcast, but
her hair.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah. And I did it exactly how she asked me. She's like, oh, can I just see? You did such a good job. I'm like, thanks. I can do it. Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The stuff like that is like, I would think, yeah. And it's always, I feel like there's always one. If you never get past it,
Yeah.
it's fine. Like
Yeah.
it's part of what we do.
Yeah.
But
We just talk about them out here.
yeah, for sure. We are.
Yes.
We
see you.
We see you.
We don't.
Okay.
She's not.
I'm kidding.
She's not.
I'm saying we do that.
Yeah. That should be said.
No,
Yeah.
my favorite, because this happens every wedding we worked together last season. We would get in the car and I'd be like, "That was so fun," and she'd be like, "Bruh."
Yeah. Like, for real?
I'm like, "Well, yeah," and she's like, "Yeah, because you."
There was one wedding where this particular bridesmaid was so over the top that I had 3 other people in the wedding apologize on her behalf and thank me for saying to do.
Oh yeah. Do you guys like have it in your contract that like because as a photographer I'm like if you treat me like terribly I'm not gonna stay.
Yeah,
Do you have some?
yeah, we can refuse service for any reason.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's hugely important.
It
It's
is
like you are paying for a service, but that doesn't mean you can pay to treat me like however you want.
Absolutely.
Like we're still
Yeah.
human beings.
Yeah, we're still, and there's a level of respect between the two of us.
Mhm.
And I think that's what's funny about some of these situations, right? We're not just sitting here to trash on bridesmaids. It's just funny because like we sometimes have to say no to protect the brides and then we get the lashback for it. Like I've had bridesmaids before be like, so I'm getting married in like 6 months and I'm gonna use this as my trial. No, you're not actually, because today is not about you. It's about, Jenna, Stephanie, whoever the bride is. Like, so no, we're not gonna do that. And then they'll get snippy with us and we're like, no, you can't have your hair exactly how the bride is doing it because it's her day today and I'm not gonna sit here and spend 2.5 hours on your makeup. I have 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Whatever I can do in 45 minutes is like. So it's one of those like, it's hard because we're in the service industry, so we want to be people pleasers, and I want to make sure that everybody is as happy as possible. But my sole focus is on the bride, and if anybody, as long as she's not outwardly, I'm not gonna ruin her day because bridesmaids are being disrespectful. But I will tell somebody I don't think we're a good fit and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
And we can do that. It's in our contract. So luckily, we've never had to.
Yeah.
We've had our
Watch yourself.
watch yourself. We've had our difficult bridesmaids, but we've never had anybody be outwardly disrespectful. No. Have we? No.
Not at a wedding.
Not at a wedding. No. Yeah. So, luckily, we would like to keep it that way this season. So,
Did you see your favorite part? Either of you? I don't remember.
I think my favorite part is when we get asked to stay for touch-ups and we get to be there for the emotional moments.
Yeah, my favorite part would be when we get to be there for first looks.
Oh my God.
Or just
Yeah.
through like the bride and the groom, or my favorite is the bride and her father.
Yeah.
Those are favorite. Those are hands down the best. My last wedding of 2024, before I went on maternity leave, I got to see the bride do her first look with her dad, and it was just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one wedding. My dad, growing up, my dad was my best friend. So first looks with dads on wedding days are my favorite. It was my favorite part of my wedding day. My dad and I both broke down like plywood. I mean, just shattered. So we there's one wedding in particular, powerhouse wedding, where we weren't supposed to be there. It was it was a total accident. We were just cleaning up, and then things were happening so fast on our wedding day that had we attempted to leave,
we were just like,
we would have been in all the photos, we would have been in all these moments. So we were just like in the corner, like, right now. All of our backpacks around us. So, but it ended up being a perk because I took so much like behind the scenes that ended up being great because this bride lost all that footage on her wedding day. Yeah. So everything happens for a reason. Everything. Yeah. And we were there, and it was funny because she hid in a curtain while her dad walked into the room. So I have a picture of her like laughing into this curtain that I'm like hiding her with. It was just such a good moment.
I was fanning her dad
while he was crying.
So there's like that, and
yeah, video really sweet. So those moments are.
I do like the idea of, the content creator or the wedding content creator.
Yes.
I do like the idea.
Yes. I want to see more of that. Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
That's something that like, it depends. I can't do it for everybody, and I wish I could, but there have been certain weddings where like my husband's working and I literally have nowhere else to be. If the bride's okay with it, I'll stay and do that kind of stuff because I love it. I love wedding days. That's why I'm in the wedding industry. I loved my own wedding day. I love your wedding day. I'm just as invested in this as you are, bestie.
Yeah.
So sometimes like I'll try to stay and do all that stuff. But when you have a content creator there and you get all that footage before you go home, like I wish I had that on my wedding day. Because I was just going through and saving everybody's Instagram stories. Yeah. Like, congrats, Mr. and Mrs. Baker. And it's all like, I'm an aesthetic girl. It's all pictures. It's their selfie on my wedding day. I'm like, sick. Yeah. We did take a picture together, but okay. No, it's fine, really. Yeah. I had so many videos of themselves dancing, and me and my husband were nobody in it. And like their captions were like, congrats. Oh, thanks. Thanks so much. It's my day, but you look gorgeous. But
yeah. No, I think that like as a photographer, like you can get the candidates.
Yes,
the candidates. But like the content creators get the real candid.
The real candid.
And I think that's like, I think just the Gen Z thing is to be like unfiltered.
Yes,
and I think that is like really able to be captured.
Yes, I want to work with more content creators.
I don't know this year. Do you have any?
We have a couple.
Oh, look at Instagram.
We have a couple. There's one that I've been in super contact with, but she's from Montana, but she's trying to come this way. So I've talked to her a little bit. She's got a Super 8. I'm loving the Super 8 thing recently. I bought a film camera, which is not a Super 8, but I'm just really into that right now.
Yeah.
We'll see how long it takes. Myra's prediction is 6 weeks before I never pick it up again. I'm hoping that it becomes more of a thing.
Yeah.
But I also tried to take piano lessons for 6 weeks and then stop. So, it's fine.
My photographer did a really good job of getting like genuine.
Yeah.
She did. There's a couple of us that I love that she got like genuine. Where I'm like fanning you. Yeah. Or we're like cracking up or, whatever. She helped my mom put my dress on and I had to be sewn into it.
Yeah. So there's a picture of me like holding it together and her mom like sewing and her sister's like, actually no, your sister was in your face.
Yeah, I think she got a picture of the moment that it busted, and you can see like her looking at my mom like, "What are we gonna do?" And I'm just like,
because we had it zipped up. We were a trio. Like, we got it zipped up. Me and her mom will work it because she was pregnant.
Yeah.
So her dress was gorgeous. So we had got it buttoned and zipped and all ready, and I was like, "Heck yeah, girl! One more, boom, get it zipped." And then she goes, whoo, because I was like, it's on. And you took like a breath of relief. And that was when the middle of the zipper went. And I was like,
because we had our ceremony after our actual wedding. So we got married in March and then we didn't have our ceremony until June.
Yeah.
I got pregnant with her on our wedding night. Yeah. So I was already like 14 weeks by the time that came. And I was like, I'm wearing this dress.
Yeah.
And I wore that dress. And I had a safety pin digging into my spine the whole time.
Yeah.
Anyways, that was totally correct.
So, but those candid, your photographer did do a really good job at getting those like truly candid.
Should we do a shameless plug?
Taylor Wold.
Okay, I'll tell you.
Taylor Wold photography. She was wonderful. She was fun to work. I will work with her again.
Great. Do you prefer more classic and timeless, or like a bold? I know what you said, but let's say it again.
It depends, but I am a classic girl. I like a classic. I think if you're gonna go bold, the time to go bold is with your hair. Yeah. But makeup, I like a good class. Or like with your lipstick. Be like a bold, like red lip girly. I'm a sucker for a red lip.
Yeah.
But
what would you say like is a bold hair?
We had one that did like Viking braids.
yeah.
Like it was like running through the middle and Viking braids on the side. So it looked gorgeous.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
She says that she's a sucker for like timeless glam. But any wedding that we had, the bride be like, I want this. She was like, oh my gosh, can I do it? I'm like,
I know you said that, and I was like,
she's not.
oh, BS.
Thank you.
Okay, it's
not.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
wait a minute.
Genuine.
Yes, that's how I see this.
No. Yeah.
Okay, hold on.
No.
I am an aesthetic girly.
Like a clean girl aesthetic?
Well, I don't know about
just has to flow.
It has to flow.
Okay.
Yes, I am a sucker for an aesthetic. If it doesn't match, I'm not for it. And I think on the grand scheme of things, just a timeless classic look, whether it be one of those like Sophia Richie buns, it doesn't look good on everybody, but if it looks good on you, do it. It's gorgeous. It's timeless. It's classic. You're going to look back on your wedding day in 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and you're not going to think about how our moms feel about their wedding dresses with big ass sleeves and like all the, So a nice timeless glam is my preference for aesthetic. With that being said, I'm a makeup artist.
To look at.
It's to look at. I like to do it. With that being said, when the opportunity arrives, if I did something bold and crazy every day, I don't think I would like it. But because the bold and crazy is so few and far between, sometimes I do want to dabble.
Yeah.
Because I'm an artist. We're artists. And so when we do have a bride that's like, oh, I want to do this. Heck yeah, girl. Can I do that one? Yeah, I want to do the high glam. But on like a day to day, I think if it was super bold and glam every single time, I think I'd get sick of it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, can somebody please just like be Sophia Richie for a day and chill out?
I get that.
So it's a give or take. There's time and place.
Do you feel like that's like just Idaho versus like other states like that were more like not natural, but like or just the type of like
brides here?
Yeah,
For sure.
okay.
Yeah. For sure.
I can't tell like because I don't really see much in the photos that I get back or like submitted that anybody goes super bold, but I couldn't tell if that was just like the location or
I think so. When I worked in California, it was the same but mildly different because you're talking about the difference between like a very Western culture and a very coastal culture. So I think across the board, that very like timeless, I want to look like me but elevated vibe is always going to be the trend. Like it's always going to be what's in because people just want to feel like a more, like luxurious version of themselves. I would say in California, because it's a little bit more of a diverse culture, you got more, like I worked way more, like Indian weddings over there. And that culture is full glam, red lip, like bold, gold cut crease. Like more often than not, you're doing stuff like that than with like traditional American weddings.
I would love for people to submit weddings like those.
They're gorgeous.
We do. We did one last year.
Yeah.
That's out.
Oh my gosh. And it was beautiful.
That's a picture that will make her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Her wedding album is just.
I love Like, I love the elope thing, and that's cute and all, but I'm also kind of like, let's see the big.
Let's see the
bold,
big,
let's-
bold, amazing weddings.
Has 8,000 real red roses.
Oh, so I did a style shoot at Chateau, and she was like, hey, you can't photograph this section because it's a surprise for the bride, and it has all these red roses. And so I never saw the
Was it in September?
It was at the end of the year, she said. So I mean, because or it was like in a couple months, and the style shoot was in June, so she was working on it in June.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was probably her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Who did hair? It was red roses.
She had a good friend that came and did all of her makeup. So we didn't get, I would have killed to do makeup though, because her wedding was so fun.
Okay,
But
well,
her hair was
here are the
gorgeous.
photos.
Absolutely. She's all over our Instagram.
Yeah.
All over.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe I've seen.
She's wearing like a gold dress.
Maybe
Like,
I've
high
seen
good.
it. I actually feel like I have. I didn't know that was that wedding though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so pretty.
And then the last wedding of the season was high glam. The Italian elite wedding.
Oh, I saw some of those photos. Yes, love.
Her wedding, she had a very natural, she was very natural. Full coverage. Soft
But it
glam. We'll call it
good.
soft glam.
Yeah.
It wasn't like super high glam, and it wasn't like natural like Holly's, where we were talking about earlier how she didn't want any foundation. Like, she wanted full coverage. She wanted to look good.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to look like her.
She did.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah,
And she had
beautiful.
big bun.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I shared that.
oh my
I
gosh. All of her pictures, I'm like, yeah, reshare. I'm pretty sure brides sometimes get sick of me because I like to filter through our content like over and over and over again. Not that your wedding day is just for content. Like, your wedding day is a beautiful celebration of love and life and joy and happiness. But I'm a post about it because it just, I mean, brides spend months, sometimes multiple years curating their own weddings. If they don't have a wedding designer to do it for them, they're doing it. They put their heart and souls into this day. I'm gonna share it.
Yeah.
With
Well, and girls plan it since they're like
little. Yes. Girl, I had a Pinterest board when Pinterest was out. And you know what's funny is it's probably a couple weeks ago, I went through that Pinterest board because it was the same Pinterest board that I first had when I started Pinterest. And then that I just built upon when I actually got engaged and started getting married. And so when you ask Pinterest to just flip the posts to like oldest added.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Girl, I had like rainbow Converse pin.
Sunflower.
Probably Tiffany blue anything.
Oh, anything. Chiffon.
Yeah.
Tiffany blue. Talk about like a 3-tier cake.
Yeah.
We had a 4-tier cake. That was James. I asked James.
I didn't have cake at my wedding.
You did. You had nothing but cake.
Oh yeah, a mini one.
A mini one. A buntini, if you will.
Yeah. A boutique.
Yeah, the things that James had to say, I didn't think, right, like, it's wedding day. I didn't think he would care about most things. Girl.
Yeah.
Rosilla.
Yeah.
My husband, the things that I specifically did not think he would care about, he cared the most about.
Really?
Yes, like our cake. I was like, yeah, I'm thinking 3-tier. He was like, no, it has to be 4. I am sorry.
What?
I beg your pardon. He was like, well, yeah, because we're doing 2 different flavors. It'd be weird to do 2.
Okay.
And we're taking the top tier home for our anniversary. So everybody needs 3 to eat. I was like, 8? Weirdo. So yeah, we got 4-tier cake because my husband had to have it.
Yeah.
He picked his own type.
Yes.
It's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I can
solid.
respect that.
For sure. I mean, realistically, 3 were only going to get eaten that day because the one was going home with us and we needed enough cake. It makes sense.
It does.
But the sassiness that came about when I said, oh, I'm going to order a 3-tier cake, it has to be 4. Like, the fingers and everything has to be 4. Oh.
My bad.
Okay. Shut it. Sorry. Yeah. So, he chose his own suit color because he really cared. I was like, I'm thinking black. He was like, no. I was like, oh, okay. Okay. But where we got married, couldn't care. Didn't care. I said Beecher Mountain. He was like, no, girl, you pick. Oh, okay. All right, sick. How about our colors? I don't care. All right.
Nice.
But his suit and the dang cake
Yeah.
had to be right.
All right.
Yep. So
That's funny.
Yeah.
What's a common beauty myth that brides believe that you wish you could debunk?
Oh, we chatted about.
we did. Please don't show up with your hair dirty.
Yeah.
Dirty hair does not style better. It does. Let us make it dirty with like product. Product dirty and oil dirty are two very different dirties. And product dirty with like texture spray, texture dust, dry shampoo, stuff like that on clean hair, it gives a grit to it. And so things hold longer. You can get more volume out of it. It's airier. It moves better. Oily dirty just sits like my bun, flat. And if I tried to tease this, you're going to see every little bit of tease. Yeah, it's matted. It doesn't look good. Don't show up with dirty hair. Wash it. Wash it.
You hear that first.
Wash your hair.
Don't be dirty.
Don't be dirty.
Wash it the night before and
Yeah.
dry it.
Yeah.
Don't sleep on it wet.
Yeah.
There was one other one. That's like a pet of mine.
Was it hair related?
No. One of them is eyelash extensions do not make it easier for us to do your makeup. They do not.
They also don't photograph as
They
well.
don't photograph as well.
Do you disagree?
Well, I had eyelash extensions for mine, and so before I got eyelash extensions, I would do the strip one,
The strip lashes?
and actually, okay, it depends. Like if it's like volume bold, then I don't think it photographs.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
it's like a more like
Super soft, natural.
like a classic hybrid, I would say yes.
Okay.
Because,
Yes.
one, my thing is you don't have to worry about them coming off. 'Cause
Yes.
That with the strip lashes, that was my biggest worry.
Sometimes they'll lift.
But I always felt like the prettiest with my
Lash
lash
extensions.
extensions, and I knew that they weren't gonna move.
Yeah.
With anytime I've ever done the strip ones, they always move.
Would come off.
I always felt like it would.
But you also probably got a fill before your wedding. Didn't you?
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you have a volume and they're 2.5 weeks out,
Oh,
On your wedding day.
Really?
Mhm.
yeah, it's not good.
get a fill.
At the very least.
At the very least.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think for me, sometimes lash extensions actually, in my opinion, I know this is going to cause an uproar in the community, but I think they make doing makeup harder.
Really?
Yeah, because when we,
I can see that.
yeah, when we do, right, you can't put mascara on them. You can't do anything like, you have to be very delicate.
My lash artist said you could.
Really?
You just have to wash it really well.
I've never heard that before.
Because I whenever like it was time for a fill, I'm like, can I just put like mascara on until
To,
I
like,
can
help?
see you? She's like, yeah, just wash it really well. So I think hot take on that. I think it's your lash artist and their application.
Probably.
If they're not confident in their application, this is just me hot take. I had no like experience in
Like, I
this.
have no idea.
I have no idea if this is true or not. But I feel like if they're not confident in their work, then they'll tell you stuff like that.
See, and I used to do lashes. I used to do lashes. I think it's just because how we're taught.
Yeah.
Like, we're taught that mascara will like pull them off and like things like
Well, 'cause
that.
anything oil based will break down the adhesive, is what
Oh.
they say.
Yeah. So in
can
order
see
to
that.
get the mascara off really well, you have to use oil based stuff. Otherwise, it's going to leave a residue. So most makeup removers have an oil to them to
What
remove.
about micellar water?
Micellar water is different, but micellar water probably isn't going to get it for you without like a deep scrub.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Cleaner, eyelash cleaner. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's formulated to
Yeah.
clean without
That's
Yeah. Anyways, total digression.
Yeah.
On that.
Yes.
So it would be unkept. We'll say that. Unkept eyelash.
Or just like really obnoxious eyelash extensions. Hot take, they don't look good.
Yeah.
Big old caterpillar lashes.
Mustache.
Girl, they don't look good.
There is such thing as lash.
There is. And it does, just to finish out this thought, it does make it harder because you're not supposed to, I guess, global consensus, you're not supposed to put mascara on them or anything like that, right? And like my biggest fear on somebody's wedding day is to like yank their lashes out or ruin them in any way. Like, I don't want to be liable for that. So we do all of this eyeshadow work and all of these things. You have fallout, like, you know, and then I got to go through and try to clean that out of your lashes without ripping your lashes out. And it's a headache. So I don't like lash extensions.
That's fair.
I don't really love them on myself either because I like to rub my eyes and when you get in the shower and they flip down. Anyways, yeah, I digress. But
The other one for me was the myth that you have to be full coverage to photograph well.
no,
It's so not true.
and yeah,
And I feel like we have brides that speak to that.
yeah,
Because like we talked about before, Holly, like literally no foundation. I've had brides that just do like tinted moisturizer. Like you do not, if you take good care of your skin and if you invest in a good makeup artist, you do not have to have full coverage to photograph well. It's not always the more is better, you know, like, and a good photographer. Like, get a good photographer, and then you're not going to worry about like, oh, you have to put 3 more coats on so that it shows up. So,
I think part of that is 2 cameras. Have gotten so much better. Like I could tell you, my old Nikon, you definitely will probably need one makeup just because the coloring and whatever else. But with the quality of the cameras now, like I definitely feel like it's a lot easier to get that actual like
you get more detail. With so much less work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's huge.
Detail and lighting is a lot better with the new cameras. And like I said, just
because back when I first started learning makeup, it was, you know, we were taught the camera removes 30% of your makeup. So specifically when you're doing events or photo shoots or things like that, you had to pack it on there.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think that we're kind of still in that mindset, but it's not true anymore.
Yeah, absolutely, exactly. Debunked.
What's one mistake, kind of still on the prep thing, what's one mistake brides make when it comes to their wedding day prep?
I have 2 things that are kind of a counterbalance, like they kind of counteract each other. Not investing in good skincare, I feel like, or like really taking care of your hair is a big one. So like not investing in the things that you use leading up to your wedding. You get that ring on your finger, go see a professional immediately. It kind of reverts back to what we were just talking about with like, you don't have to wear a full face of makeup. So if you're the type of person that, you know, the thought of wedding day makeup is giving you anxiety, invest in good skincare. I see brides all the time who don't do it, and then they're upset when they have texture on their skin, or, you know, they feel like they have to put more makeup on than what they're comfortable with because they're uncomfortable in their skin. So when you really take the time to invest in something like very good for your skin, it makes everything about your beauty routine on your wedding day all the much easier, and you'll feel so much more confident. With that being said, doing too much is also a very real thing. I'm going to debunk this right now. You don't need a 10-step skincare routine. It's too much. A really good cleanser and a really, really good moisturizer, and sometimes a toning mist or a hyaluronic acid will do wonders. And sunscreen. But what is that? 5? And you don't have to do sunscreen at night.
Sure.
So, I mean, and you also don't have to do the toning mist at night. Like, cleanse, hyaluronic acid, moisturize at night, cleanse, toning mist, and sunscreen in the morning, moisturize both times. Great. Super simple. Streamlined. Yes? Do you have any other?
Do you have, or sorry, what's your mistake when it comes to the wedding day prep?
I think one would be like changing your routine, like and, you know, like a month of your wedding, or going and getting some type of chemical peel or something like that done. And waxing, don't get waxed within like 5 days of your wedding, because if you have, you know, sensitive skin and there's like
Freak out,
or a patch maybe that it got a little too deep or whatever, that's really hard to cover.
It's also not, it's not unsafe, but it's not the safest.
Right.
If you have
then the follicles are open and
So then no matter how clean your makeup is, like, it's still a foreign substance on your face, right? We really pride ourselves on using good, high quality, clean makeup, but it is still a foreign substance on your face. And so if you have, you know, either inflamed or open pores or whatever that looks like it's gonna probably not sit well with you. You're gonna feel it. It's gonna be itchy. It's not gonna feel good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm. I didn't even know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense.
It does.
Especially like when like you have like something that you pick too much, like you can't cover it
No
matter what.
Yeah, because the
That's
texture is
what
still
it
there.
is.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What should brides know about working with a hair and makeup team that they might not realize?
It is going to make your day go so much easier. Like, genuinely. I think people look at wedding day hair and makeup. It is a luxury service, like, period. It's not a necessity, but at the end of the day, neither is a wedding. You know?
Yeah.
If you're gonna spend the money on this day, spend the money on making your day as easy as possible. You've gone through months and months and months, sometimes years, on curating it, making it special for you. The last thing you want to do on the day of is deal with a bad hair day, bad makeup day. You know, we go through and also work with the photographer and the coordinator on setting this realistic timeline for you so that you don't have to worry about it. We come, we show up, we bring everything you need to be successful. All you have to do is sit there and feel good and just enjoy your day.
And it's a pampering experience.
It
You
is.
deserve to be pampered.
Yes. You spent all this time investing into your relationship with another person, something that you're so excited about. It's right. It's more than just that. This is the first step into investing into your marriage with somebody is a wedding. That's why I love weddings.
Yeah.
I feel like they're, hot take, a direct correlation with how much like your wedding and your marriage kind of go hand in hand. Even the smallest of weddings, when they're taken care of with such detail, like it really makes a difference. This is your first step in the rest of your life. Care about it.
It's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
And even if you're not one of those girls that like dreamt about your wedding from 4 years old, which was me,
Yeah.
you still want to feel like a princess on it.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
You want to feel like the most important person.
Even if it's just a courthouse wedding.
Oh, yeah.
Courthouse weddings nowadays are so gorgeous.
Yeah,
like
for the photos.
Yes. You don't have, this doesn't have to be some big, like, and this is me saying, like, oh, if you don't have a big wedding, you don't care about your marriage. Like, even the smallest weddings can have such great, like, impact, you know, to the rest of your life. So, yeah, I think that when people think about hair and makeup, they see it as this, like, luxury, non-necessity, you know, thing, just kind of like an extra, like, oh, I have to get this vendor because that's what people do on their wedding days. When in reality, you're investing in ease, you're investing in consistency throughout your entire bridal party, and you're really honestly investing in the way that you're going to feel. And oftentimes hair and makeup is the least expensive part of your wedding day, but it makes the biggest impact in how you feel the entire day.
Yeah.
So
I seriously, before I got married, I was like, because we were doing such a small wedding, it was literally going to be my husband, our good friends that were marrying us, and our parents. And I was like, you know, I'll just do my own hair and makeup, like it's not a big deal. And like very last, I was like, no, I'm getting married.
yes.
And like, yeah, I'm so like the pictures turned out amazing.
Yes.
And it was just, I'm so glad that.
Yes. And you know what? You honestly, you deserve it. No matter who you are, no matter what kind of bride you are, no matter what kind of wedding you're having, you deserve. How often do you get your hair and makeup professionally done?
Never.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's almost one of those things where it's like, when else in your life do you have the excuse to get your hair and makeup professionally done? Okay, maybe for headshots, but are you really going to do that?
Yeah.
Like
brides knows it.
No, you know, and unless you're in like a company who's paying for you to get your hair and makeup professionally done,
And then it's kind of like,
might as well, you know, like you're just I feel like the average, like me and Myra get our hair and makeup professionally done because 90% of the time we're training the professionals to do it, you know? So like, or doing it on each other, like we're trying new things out. So like we're going to get our hair and makeup done professionally more often than not. But anybody who works in like, I don't know, corporate America or like really anything, like nobody's doing that. So invest in yourself. You deserve it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Especially because I'm not confident in makeup and I was so scared of like, I did hire a photographer, so I didn't want to look like a cake face or like like just have like two tones.
Yes.
I was like, you know, love the professional.
Yes, and I think that's another thing too, right? Is like you're investing all of this money into like I say that there's 4 most important vendors on the wedding day. It's going to be your photographer. They're going to be the ones that make the night completely unforgettable, literally, because you will have tangible evidence of it. Your wedding planner, because they're going to make sure that you don't have to lift a finger on your wedding day. Your florist, because that directly correlates with the entire vision that you have. And your makeup team, because you spent all this money on making everything look perfect, on having these photos that you're going to look at for the rest of your life. You should like what you see when you look at yourself.
I would also say.
I disagree, but that's fine. I'm not a foodie. I am, but I'm not. Like I didn't care what we had on our wedding. We had tacos.
I mean, I was gonna say, I feel like I love the trend where you get Taco Bell at the end of the night.
Yeah,
like it's so like
We did Costco deli sandwiches.
I love it.
Yep.
With fruit that you choose.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I love it. Last question: if you can give every bride one piece of advice, what would it be? Bride or couple, I will say.
Have a designated person in your bridal party to be your point of contact. People are going to bug you on your wedding day. You might think they won't. They're going to. Have a designated point of contact. And secondly, have what I like to call a runner. So one of my best friends, she lives in Missouri. She was my designated runner. And my maid of honor was my calm keeper, my peacekeeper. And my sister-in-law was my point of contact. So I had 3 different people with 3 different jobs. And that was probably the best decision I could have made, because my runner made sure that me and my husband never saw each other. But if there was anything that had to be exchanged, if my photographer needed anything from the groom's room, I didn't have to be like, where's this? Where's that? It was somebody who I was super close. Me and my husband were super close with. So she could run from the groom's suite to the bride's suite to the groom's suite to the bride's suite. She delivered the letter that my husband wrote on our wedding day. It just adds such a sweetness, right? That's one of my best friends, so she took it from him and gave it to me, and vice versa, gave him mine. And then, my point of contact was the one that my coordinator called when she showed up. Hey, where do I park?
I love that.
Yeah.
Just as a photographer, because I'm like, I don't want to play the bride because she's doing stuff.
Yeah.
But having
I need somebody to talk to at all times. And that was my sister-in-law. My sister-in-law, when it came time to the tail end of the wedding, she was the one that I really told everything to. This goes here, this goes there, this goes here, this goes there. So when the coordinator got there and was starting to put things in motion, she was the one that was able to be like, oh, she wants this over here. Oh, she wants this over there. And then if they did have any questions, the only person that was coming up to me was my sister-in-law. That's it. That was the only person who came up and bugged me. And it was great, because I didn't have, 4 people being like, hey, your dad's not here yet. Hey, what do we do about this? Hey, what do we do about that? Hey, that's overwhelming, especially, from an artist, when you're sitting there trying to do the bride's hair and makeup, and they're like, huh?
Yeah. Or trying to get photos of that.
Yes. And they're looking around because 4 different people are asking them 7 different questions. It's hard.
Yeah.
So have a point of contact.
Absolutely.
I would say on that same topic, be selective on who you have in your bride.
Yes.
Be very selective on who you have in your bridal suite.
Yes.
And be selective on how much alcohol you intake before yourself.
Yeah. As given with the Coke story.
Yeah.
Right. Literally.
Story. Yeah. Yeah. And the end. Those 2 things. Yeah. I had somebody in my wedding suite that morning that I look back on the pictures and I'm not fond of. Because I'm like,
yeah, that was one thing I wanted to ask. Sorry, I know I said that was the last question.
No, you're fine.
But have you ever had somebody in the bridal suite that you did the makeup, the bride loved the makeup, and the person's like, to
the bride?
Now, that happens almost every wedding.
I know.
There's at least one person that's that doesn't like the bride's makeup. Yeah, I feel like.
I don't know. Maybe I've just never noticed it then, or I black it. I feel like usually if that happens for me, it happens at trials and it's mom. Moms are.
Yeah.
It's never the bride. And I don't know.
There's a creator who I've seen a lot.
Yeah.
My thing, and she does the skits of that same thing.
Yeah, happening where somebody else. I don't know.
I guess maybe not didn't like it, but oh, you usually. Or
yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Or we'll pull us aside. One wedding we had, somebody came up and was like, this little piece of her hair right here, are we gonna fix this? Oh, okay, yeah, sure. Like, I didn't do, and like genuinely.
on purpose.
Sometimes, yeah, you're like, oh, okay. But other times, like, sometimes it's genuinely like, oh, yeah, I didn't even catch that. Thank you so much. But other times, like, I had one time where somebody was like, are you going to blend her foundation out? Because, like, there's a line. And I was like, oh, that's cool because there's no foundation on her face.
Oh, that's another reason why I got mine done, because like I don't know like what it is, but like my like literally just my face will turn super red, but like none of the rest of it will.
Yeah.
And it makes that have that look.
Yeah. Like it's a different shade.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And like I was terrified of that. That's also I was like,
but I don't think that was my only time when that person was like, are you gonna blend it down because I can see outline? And I was like, well, I don't know what you're talking about because there's no foundation there. I think that's the only time I've actually had somebody like do that.
Yeah.
But I guess like
but they haven't done it to the bride.
Oh, or they've been like, I don't like your makeup. Yeah. I've never seen.
I don't think outright.
No.
It's usually just those comments of like, oh, well, really? No, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've heard that, and then we're standing there like, yeah. Yeah, that's what she wants. Yeah, that's what she said. She said she liked it. I have had to pull a bride aside before. This was backing up. I did have to pull a bride aside because her mom was being pretty nitpicky. Like, you should do this. Can we add this? Can we do a bigger lash? Can we do this? Can we do that? So I had to pull a bride aside and I go, do you like your makeup? Do you like your, well, my mom is saying,
this is your day.
Look at yourself in the mirror right now. Do you like what you see? Yeah. Okay, we're keeping it.
Yeah.
I will tell your mom. I had to be that guy and be like, hey, mom.
She likes it.
She likes it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be done. Stop picking her apart. That's sad too, though, because I think that's a mom thing. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes mom and daughter relationships can just be a little, a certain way. And sometimes I think that that's like
spills over into
the wedding day, into makeup, into hair. They're used to seeing their daughter a certain way that it's hard to let go of the reins and see them in any different lighting. So, yeah.
Well, I think that's a good place to close.
Amazing.
Thank you guys so much.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us. This was such an honor.
I'm so glad that you guys are my first ones.
Yeah. We're so excited to be here. We wish you all the best.
Thanks.
Yeah. Shameless plug, follow us on Instagram, Belle Luxury Bridal.
I'll tell you now.
Please.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.